Hello, this is AstrologerCoach Sonja Francis, and today we're going to be talking about the upcoming change that Jupiter is making from Leo to Virgo on August 11th, 2015, and it will journey through Virgo until September 9th, 2016. So this is a big shift because Leo is very extroverted, it's a fun-loving energy. Virgo is a little bit more introverted, it's a service-oriented energy. And Jupiter essentially is really a call to recognize an opportunity. So Jupiter is really concerned with limitless, unexplored possibilities. And so the primary questions that we always want to ask yourself with Jupiter is, how have I been underestimating myself, and how can I grow? How can I, do more, be more, explore more, get to the bottom of the truth of things by exploring life more. Now, the transit, Jupiter transit signals a time when we have an opportunity to explore life. New opportunities come into existence. It's also about sizing those opportunities, really grabbing them and taking advantage of those opportunities. And of course, before we can do that, we have to recognize that we deserve those opportunities and that we're capable of rising to the occasion. So Jupiter gives us the confidence and the optimism to do that. So it's all about trusting yourself, having faith in life, in yourself, and going for it. It's a fiery energy, Jupiter. It's about let's go. It's the spirit of Jupiter. Now, Jupiter in Virgo is an opportunity to recognize, what it is that we want to improve in regards to our health and our daily routines. It gives us the opportunity to have more clarity in our lives around those issues. And we also attract the most fortune when we're helpful, when we're honest, when we're orderly, when we create order in our lives, and when we pay attention to detail. Virgo is all about the details, of course, and it's a very humble energy, very down-to-earth kind of an energy, so less is more, very much with Virgo, which was not necessarily the case with Jupiter and Leo, right? Now, anyone who works in the service industry for the next 13 months with Jupiter in Virgo has a chance to really prosper. Practical and technical knowledge and skills are really valued right now. And so is precise work. Because Virgo, of course, is very much about precision and doing things really well, doing things 100%. So we grow by really being practical and realistic. And we may also be a little bit risk averse, not as open to risk as we were with Jupiter and Leo. And integrity and honesty and being of service is definitely really important while Jupiter is in Virgo, because that's when we're able to really receive the most from that energy. We're receiving the rewards when we're open to all these things. Now, we have the ability to be more open and optimistic when it comes to our work, our day-to-day routine, our work, when it comes to self-improvements in our lives, especially connected to taking care of our health. And this transit also really enhances our ability to handle the details that are required to do a good job, and to really become more aware of our own skill sets. What are we really good at? Where can we really zoom in and give it our all, right? And so wherever you have Virgo in your birth chart, that will also be sort of an indication. This is where you can really get down to the details and be really precise and really give it your all. The benefits that come with Jupiter in Virgo very often come either through coworkers or through employees that we have during this cycle. So if we hire people for work, then that can be very successful. That relationship that we have with the people that we hire If we're the one looking for work, that can go better as well too. There can be significant improvements in our jobs, whether we're looking for a new job or whether the job that we already have, we might be able to appreciate that job a little bit more, and we might be open to growing within that area of work, whatever we already are doing, where we might be open to making improvements with our job or with our work, and see bigger possibilities for ourselves. Now, generally speaking, improvements to our work environment are likely just because we enjoy work a little bit more as well, and we're more open towards making these improvements. The other thing that's a priority for the next 13 months is tasks that help us get down to the bottom of things, that help us create more clarity, that help us create more order within our lives, so that we can have a more smoother experience in our day-to-day routines and day-to-day experience with work and with the tasks that we're taking care of. Now, the best way to handle this transit is to really recognize our own usefulness and really take pride in it. And this is what really will bring us joy and rewards, is to see how we're able to be of service to something, and we're able to bring something to the table that's valuable and that's that we're doing really well. Now, Jupiter in Virgo, asks us to also widen our understanding of health and healing. Virgo has a lot to do with the health industry, and so health services are likely to prosper this year, especially those companies or individuals that have a holistic approach that promotes an organic connection to our physical body and to the earth. This is very much honored during the Virgo experience. And if we're customers for such services, we're also likely to look at a really good outcome if we have a holistic approach ourselves, if this is something that we're open to. Now, the last time Jupiter moved through Virgo was late August of 2003 until September of 2004. So it's a good idea to kind of look back to what happened 12 years ago around that time for you. Naturally, this Jupiter cycle is not going to be an exact replica of the last cycle, but there will be some resonance, energetically speaking, and we might be dealing with similar issues, or certain issues that happened 12 years ago might now move to the next level, and therefore we're dealing with a similar issue. So ask yourself, what work or health issues did you tackle at that time? 12 years ago, and how did your perspective on daily routines change, or how did your work environment change? How about body or food consciousness? Maybe did some of that change for you at that time? One last thing to mention as well with Jupiter in Virgo transit is this might be a great time to get a new pet during this cycle, because Virgo also very much likes to take care of animals, smaller animals, or pets, something that we can, live with at home. Now, if you have a Sagittarius sun sign or rising sign, you will feel the changes of Jupiter moving into a new sign more strongly, because Jupiter is your ruling planet. And so you're being invited for these next 13 months to get more grounded in the details and think about what's coming up next, rather than improvising as you go, which is sort of like a Sagittarian trait, is to always improvising things. So for these next 13 months, you're being invited to improvise a little bit less and pay a little bit more attention to details and to what you can think about in terms of how you can make your life better. Now, if you have any planets in Virgo in your own birth chart, especially personal planets like the Sun or the Moon or Mercury or Venus or Mars, or you have an ascendant or a midheaven or career point in Virgo, then the Jupiter transit will definitely expand the energy of that planet or that point in your chart, bringing sort of like a new opportunities for you in that area of your life, but also sort of like, it's like putting a magnifying glass over that particular planet or point in your chart. And so it's sort of like expanding or making bigger or taking you, having you take a closer look at what this energy is about for you. So when it comes about that part of yourselves, to find a way to deal with certain energies within you in a maybe more positive way, in a more optimistic way, and kind of maybe making some improvements with that energy. So if you have questions about that, if that seems a little bit confusing, if you don't know how to look that up in your own birth chart, feel free to either watch my video called How to Read Your Birth Chart. That will be helpful, I think. Or if you want to just, connect with me personally and do like a 25-minute mini reading, I'll be happy to also help you with that. Now, for those of you who were born between June 1958 and October 1971, you have Pluto in Virgo, and so therefore Jupiter will be at some point this year move over your natal Pluto in your birth chart as well. And so this means that Pluto is the planet of empowerment and transformation. And it's very often also the planet where we have experienced either disempowerment or trauma in our lives. And very often with Pluto in Virgo, this generation or these individuals kind of tend to be very hard on themselves and very perfectionistic and are very obsessed with health and with making improvements in their lives and with being pure and having a pure experience in life with their physical bodies, but also with their day-to-day work, being very conscientious. And so there's sometimes a little bit of an obsession or an extreme behavior with Pluto in Virgo. And so when Jupiter moves over that planet for you, for that generation, there's really an opportunity to have a new perspective around either traumatic experiences from the past or things that you feel afraid of, if you let go or if you just surrender to something, that maybe there might be a fear around health issues or around, not being perfect in your life. And you also have some very deep desires when it comes to Pluto and Virgo, wanting to do things really well and perfect. So you do feel very passionate about work and health and doing things well. So if you were born during any of those times, ask yourself, what disempowers me, or what has disempowered me in the past around these Virgo issues, and what might happen if I changed my perspective or my approach? What if I just zoomed out a little bit and gave this a little bit more space, or maybe a little bit more optimism? And then that will be really helpful to deal with some of those traumas from the past, or some of these obsessions that we've had in the past, or fears. And Jupiter can really bring a very beautiful new perspective to that area of your life. Okay. Now, so each of one, of course, has Jupiter moving somewhere into a house or into an area of our lives, somewhere in our lives. Wherever you have Virgo in your charts, that is where Jupiter will be moving into. So you can kind of take a look at that in your own birth chart and see, where you're getting a chance to explore new possibilities, and where are you getting a chance to grow as a human being, and just expand your mind a little bit. If you don't know how to look that up, and if you don't know where you have Virgo in your chart and you want to explore a little bit more what that means for you personally, again, feel free to reach out to me for a 25-minute mini reading. I'd be happy to support you with that. You can get those readings on my services page at AstrologerCoach.com, or you can just email us at info@AstrologerCoach.com. All right? So enjoy Jupiter moving through Virgo for the next 13 months, and really get connected to how you can shift certain things in your daily routine, with your health, with your body, with food, with your work, all that good stuff. All right, have a good one. This is Astrologer Coach Sonja Francis. Goodbye.